Alright, so this is going to be a quick 90% tutorial, mostly aimed at people who are completely new to Bastion speedrunning, but have seen that our many percent category is very short, so they think they can get a run done in like 15 minutes without any prior knowledge. What this means is that I'm gonna tell you the basics of speedrunning Bastion, and I'm gonna tell you what to do and how to do it. But since I want this to be pretty quick, I'm not gonna explain to you why stuff works or why it's faster. I'm just gonna tell you what to do. The first thing you want to do when speedrunning Bastion is going into controls and setting your control scheme as Mason style. This is because Mason style is back and it adds your walking speed to your rolling speed, so it's about 30% faster. It's not kind of a style thing. If you want it to run with controller, I'm sorry, but it's just slower. It's straight up slower. The second thing is that you want to rewind use interact from me to your mouse wheel up or mouse wheel down. Most people prefer down. The reason to do this is because you are gonna grab a single core 14 times, and it's way better to simply scroll the wheel than to mash a button 14 times. It goes faster and easier on your hands. Having an interact on mouse wheel also means that you can pre-interact with stuff to grab it on the first frame, so that saves a bit of time. Then you want to select normal mode. No runs can be done in no sweat mode. Every run is done in normal mode or new aim plus mode, which I don't have unlocked on this controller, on this computer I mean. Once you select normal mode, you simply press the continue prompt, and instead of doing a run myself, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna commentate over one of Ian Saint's run, his current 80% PV, because he's both a much better player than me and he doesn't use any kind of weird strat that you shouldn't do when you're starting out. So it's a perfect place to learn Bastion from. I'm gonna be explaining what he does. The first thing to note is that timer doesn't start here, it starts once the kid gets up. We have an auto splitter that does this for you if you decide to get it from live split. It's simply a button press, you have to press activate. You can't roll on this segment. You get roll unlocked once you actually grab the hammer, which once again you can press roll the wheel to interact with in the first frame. And then something to note is that roll does 2 damage, so you can break a small debris, like he's gonna do right here, simply by rolling, so you don't have to clear everything in your way. You actually don't have to clear pretty much anything in this category, I think, with the hammer. You go up to this guy and you kill him because it damages you, that's useful later. And it's a perfect time to talk about hammer damage. Hammer has 2 kinds of attack, stationary attacks, which are the strong ones, and they do between 15 and 20 damage, or moving attacks, which are the slow ones but are faster, and they do between 10, they always do 10 damage. I don't know what I was trying to say. They always do 10 damage. You kill this guy with 2 stationary attacks, and then you just continue on your merry way. You can clip through these 2 things, the rocks and the tent, and then you grab the heals, you heal yourself because that's faster, and you grab this repeater from the other side. The squares spawn by the time you come back, you heal them all, and then you go inside the Soul Regret. Inside Soul Regret, you shoot this guy, Randy, and that starts the timer for the shield to spawn. And once you grab the shield, Soul Regret actually starts with the names spawning and stuff. Soul Regret is kind of a hard area to optimize, but more on that later. For now, you kill this turret with 2 stationary attacks. If you get unlucky and you get 2 uppercuts instead of a down smash, the turret lives. So what you do then is that you simply roll and that finishes the turret off, because roll, may I remind you, does 2 damage. You kill the boxes, they take 1 roll and 2 moving attacks. Once again, roll does 2 damage, boxes have, I think it's exactly 22 HP, so it works out perfectly. And now there's the squirts, which is why Soul Regret is hard to optimize. You have to kill every enemy that's gonna spawn in this wave but 2. We normally just leave 2 squirts alive because they are annoying to kill, they are very annoying to kill. And it's a pretty hard area to optimize. I don't have much advice for Soul Regret, I myself am pretty bad at it. All I can really say is that you wanna catch as many squirts with every hammer swing as possible, and in order to do that you bait them like you saw him do. He basically goes around, he tries to aggro as many squirts as possible, etc. Once you load into the actual Wharf District, the first thing you wanna do is you wanna roll down, but not strike down, it's kind of a diagonal, as you're gonna see him do right here, because there's some balls that spawn, and if you roll a bit diagonally, you can just get past them without breaking them. Then you grab this stone here, which is Whirlwind, and you kill these two turrets. You simply punch that one, and then you reflect that one. You interact with these two buildings. You don't need to equip anything, you just have to interact with them. It's kind of a tutorial thing. And then this path spawns, you just go straight to the barge. The barge is an auto-scroller, there's nothing you can do to speed it up. Some people like Ian and me fall down because the first fall in the Wharf District, or simply at the start of the game in the first area, takes a bit more time because there's a line to be said. The narrator says something like, then he falls to his death. So if you were to fall here, that fall will take more time, but you've already gotten it out of the way. And now right here, what you see him do is a clip. What you're gonna do is you're gonna want to roll into this corner right here, and then you use whirlwind, and then lining up like this. You see that the line, like the dotted line, is crossing the tip of this stair. You simply line the whirlwind line like that while you're in the corner, and then you hold down the mouse button so you are constantly moving, and you mash space. And that puts you through the gate, like it just put him. Sometimes it takes an extra couple rolls, sometimes it will put you through the gate but you'll be stuck. If you're stuck, you just do kind of an arced roll and you'll get through the gate. And you just get to the core. Now in order to grab the core, you can't just grab it. I already said that we're gonna grab the same core 14 times. What you do is that you pause the game and then you press numpad 5 without having numpad, num lock on. That kinda breaks the game. You get this screen, which is actually not just the screen, it also has the game running in the background. And then you can interact with the core as many times as you want. So you just grab 14 cores, you exit these screens, and then you fall down. You can just fall down there, you don't need to go to the end. And upcoming we have the third glitch in this run. The first one was the clip, the second one was grabbing the cores, which is known as forged storage. The third one is this one, which is dialogue glitch. Dialogue glitch is kinda tricky to perform. It's probably the glitch that's gonna take you the more tries. What you do is that you interact with rocks, and then you're gonna immediately use the city crest with him. That gets him token, but before you use the city crest, you have to be scrolling the wheel. And what that does is that you use the city crest, but it immediately opens up the dialogue menu again. You see that the city crest isn't here anymore, you've already used it. And then, in this dialogue, you wanna use the core. And that stacks both cutscenes, and it's gonna allow you to put in cores much faster. If you get the second dialogue prompt, basically the screen that opened with just the core, you've gotten this first part right. The second part is to roll to the monument as fast as you can, because you have to get here before the first cutscene, the city crest one, is done. Once you've done that, you simply scroll the wheel, and you put the 14 cores in. There's no more tech to this run, you just put every core in. If you miss dialogue glitch, it's not a big deal. You can complete the run without it, it just saves time. The only glitch that's actually required in this run, it's the force storage one, the one to grab 14 cores. Both the gate clip and the dialogue glitch simply happen to save time, and they are pretty easy to do once you get a bit of practice on them. My explanation for the gate flip probably wasn't the best because I was trying to do it as quick as possible. But we have a couple clips on the Discord if you need more help. You get through this part, you simply put in the cores, and then you load into the heart of the Bastion. In the heart of the Bastion, you have to talk with both Rax and Sia, but you don't have to interact with them. Rather, you have to interact with them, but you don't have to talk. What I mean is that you have to actually go up to them and open the dialogue screen, but you don't have to pick any kind of dialogue option. You can just immediately exit like he's doing here, and then you select landing and the timer ends. And that's Bastion Any %. I know I wasn't the most clear in explanations, but I was trying to go as fast as possible. If you miss something, you can just ask me on Discord, just ping me, I'll take the Stinger tree. Or simply ask normally and someone will answer probably. We're usually kinda helpful.